Okay, Bismillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Everyone, welcome again to our episode on teen tech and AI. And our teen today looks teeny, not teeny, but we'll go in and see how it goes. I'll let him introduce himself. Yusuf, Bismillah.
Bismillah. Assalamualaikum, everybody. My name is Yusuf. I am currently 22 years old, and I was born and raised in the Bellevue area for a very, very long time. I went to Sammamish High School. I did the Running Start program at Bellevue College, which then led to University of Washington, where I met a lot of my best friends who are also teens in AI.
Mm.
And then now I currently work. Outside of work, I love to watch Formula One. I go to the gym, and I buy a bunch of gimmicks. That's who I am.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. As we were talking about before just starting the podcast, we tried to take this whole conversation back, way, way back, to things you can't find on LinkedIn or even anywhere, basically. So take us all the way back to like maybe you were born here in Bellevue or in the Bellevue area. Sort of walk us through maybe like your elementary, middle school, and sort of like high school. Where was those, or sort of like what do you remember about those periods, basically?
Yeah. I think the earliest memories
Mm.
with tech at least was
Mhm.
closer to middle school.
Uh-huh.
I I think I had my first Arduino when I was in sixth grade. And alhamdulillah, I
Okay.
was very, very blessed where I knew what I wanted to do. I knew it was in the computer aspect. Not that many people knew at the time, but
Uh-huh.
I had a suspicion that
Okay.
that's the field that I wanted to enter. So I
Uh-huh.
had an Arduino that
Uh-huh.
controlled LED lights. There's RGB lights that I really wanted behind my bed, and I had my first Arduino then, and I'd click a
Mhm.
button and the light turns on. I'm like, oh, this is amazing, and I think I'm the next Steve Jobs immediately, right? Nvidia, here I come, right? We're building the next GPU. The but that didn't last long. I was like, Arduino's fun, but the hardware aspect was a little bit difficult. All the small wires and all these things, I was bounded to my imagination. And at the time, as a sixth grader, you have a lot of imagination, but you can't
Mhm.
really reach it.
Hmm.
So then, luckily for me, I had a mentor.
Mhm.
Her name was Jenny
Mhm.
Ferris, and she was my teacher. She now works
Mhm.
at Microsoft, but she was my teacher in seventh grade and
Interesting.
then in sixth grade. And we
Mhm.
started a FLL robotics team.
Okay.
And before then, there was a FLL team and robotics team at Maps, and
Mhm.
this is like way way back. And I don't know if you know Muhammad Abdullah and these people, but
Yes.
they were
Uh-huh.
actually part of this FLL team. You should
Ah.
definitely ask them about their experience. I'm sure someone has photos of
Ah.
these things.
Interesting.
And for those who don't know FLL, I mean it's
Mhm.
a basically a I don't know if we can pull up a photo
Mhm.
somewhere, but
Mhm.
it's I'd say a computer about this big, not a computer, but a device this big that
Yeah.
has four generic motors, very, very small motors,
Mhm.
and you program it by steps. It's like imagine like do this, then this, then this, then
Mhm.
that. So it's
Mhm.
not really
Mhm.
coding, it's more of like block coding.
Mm. Okay.
And that's kind of what launched my
Mhm.
career in tech. That I loved it. I love building new things, solving
Mhm.
problems, and
Mhm.
that 100% gave me the creativity and gave me the ambition. Like, all right, this
Mhm.
is like I finally found something that not only was I good at, but something that I
Mhm.
really really liked.
Interesting.
So this was middle school.
Uh-huh.
And then middle school, there's another FTC program, which is like the next level. So it's like FLL, then you get big
Mhm.
boys FTC, and then you get like the major leagues, which is
Uh-huh.
FRC, which was in high school, so much much later.
Mhm.
But I also did FTC,
Mhm.
but I wasn't a huge fan of programming. I actually didn't like programming. I liked results. I
Okay.
liked like
Okay.
okay, I have a problem. The only
Mhm.
way to solve the problem is to code it. So
Mhm.
let's code it real quickly, get it done, so then I can see the final result.
Yes.
And that mentality lasted almost up until college, where it's like I just want to get the answer. I want to see the
Uh-huh.
final result. I want to see the final
Uh-huh.
product.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of my variables are like I1, I2, I3. I didn't care. It's like, I'm not looking at the lines that I'm coding. It just move it on. If it doesn't work, I
Uh-huh.
comment it out and just and
Uh-huh.
move it out.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's a that's a very bad habit. I would not recommend people to be doing that nowadays. But it got me through what I was
Mhm.
going through. So that was a lot of my prior
Mhm.
like information in
Mhm.
middle school.
Mhm. Wow. Then take me back. You're a sixth grader and you're sort of saying like I knew I wanted to do like computers. Like how did you even find computers? How did you even say like, oh, this is what I want to do? Like how did you even get that like guess to that?
Uh, here's a funny story. So
Mm,
we had a very very old computer. It might be somewhere here. This
mm,
is in elementary school,
mhm.
and one day the computer stopped working. And
Okay.
I know my brother says it was my fault, and I'm telling you right now, I remember it was his fault specifically. We have two very different sides of this story, but I know what I saw,
Uh-huh.
and yes, I was younger, and my memory might have been fainted, but I know vividly that he's the one who dropped the computer from the kitchen, and the screen. This is we're talking about back in the day when these computers were thick and they're really
Yeah.
really heavy, and there's no such thing as a minimal bezel. It's like
Uh-huh.
the entire laptop is a bezel with like a screen this big,
Yes.
and the laptop detached, the screen from the hinge detached
Yeah.
from the keyboard,
Yes.
and there's this one wire that was connecting,
Mm-hmm.
and we had two options. We can either pretend like we can quickly try to fix it before my dad saw, or we tell him the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, being really good kids, we tried fixing it and hiding it from our parents. Like, we're not going to tell our parents. So we're like, okay, let's open it up. So the TV's on and we're watching some random, I think it was like Cartoon Network at the time or
Yeah.
something. And we're
Mm-hmm.
right under the TV, and me and my brother have a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
The laptop is in pieces. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
screws are everywhere. The battery's in
Mm-hmm.
our hand. I don't even know the camera gadget is in another hand, and
Uh-huh.
we have no idea what we're doing. This is in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first time I saw a computer completely decomposed. We've seen like mice decompose. We've dissected frogs. It was the first time
Mm-hmm.
dissecting a
Computer.
laptop, and there was therapy. There's a lot of therapy in opening a laptop and just completely taking everything apart. And it's like cooking, you know. Cooking is enjoyable. It's the cleaning, right? It's like it's after you're done cooking, you enjoy the food, and you look at the pile
Uh-huh.
of dishes, like, all right,
Let's.
what do we do? So it's the same thing. We opened up the laptop. We found the hinge that was broken. There's a crack on the left. Like, okay, great. We found the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We can't fix the problem because the hinge is broken. We'd have to order, and there's no such thing as Amazon. You have to go to Fry's or Best Buy to buy the
Mm-hmm.
part.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went to the backup option, was slowly put everything together and
Mm-hmm.
put it on the kitchen and just walk away until someone finds out. And it wasn't too long before my dad found out, and it was a whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot. I mean, the computer is everything works perfectly fine now.
Mm-hmm.
Alhamdulillah, all the information was saved and all the
Mm-hmm.
tax information, everything was not lost. But it was definitely a he did it, not me. And then I think this is what happened. I might have broke it, but he definitely opened the laptop. I'm willing to compromise on
A
this
meeting
discussion.
midway.
Hey, well, I mean, well, he's a doctor, so opening things is his surgery is his task. I'm a coder. I break things, but he opens things up. So
Interesting. Wow. So then this is sixth grade. This is this computer scenario that happened. What else were you doing then at sixth grade? Like what other things were you like playing with and stuff around that time?
yeah, I would say other than cool math games. So alhamdulillah, again, this is what I'm telling you. Like being in the
Mm-hmm.
Seattle area for who are here, they know how they live in a blessing, right? We have access to laptops in schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were given personal laptops for each student in our middle school. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
your laptop. It has OneNote. It has Windows 8. You
Mm-hmm.
don't break it. You have a stylus.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time my one of my close friends, I'm not gonna say his name online just in case I don't want to dox him, but he knows who he is. May Allah guide him, inshallah.
I mean,
Uh, uh,
yeah, no,
we
no.
got into like a conversation where so back then there was a program where teachers were able to look at what's on your computer screen, right? It's like
Oh.
okay, making sure all the students imagine like security and compliance for everybody, right? It's like okay, we want
Mm-hmm.
to track everything, we want to make sure that no student
Mm-hmm.
is on cool math games or YouTube during the class.
Mm-hmm.
And in the corner of my eye, I see someone playing Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, like I'd never played Minecraft up until that day, so I've only heard of it. I didn't play games. We had an Xbox, but I wasn't much of a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really wanted to play Minecraft, and I look
Mm-hmm.
at him it's like, "Hey, like, how are you playing Minecraft?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I can't tell you because like if everybody finds out, then they're gonna catch on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I won't tell anybody. He's like, all right, don't worry. Here's this USB drive, and he tells me the steps. He's like, on the USB drive, there's gonna be a .txt file. You're gonna open the .txt file, and there's 5 steps. Follow them closely.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, me and him are in a corner playing Minecraft while whatever teacher's explaining. And the next person looks at it. I was like, hey, this guy got Minecraft. So then it becomes a table of Minecraft. Then the entire back row is just all playing Minecraft during class, and it becomes this whole epidemic. And that later on, that student, he works at a very nice company, mashallah, in security,
Mm.
actually. Or in a security-esque role, but he was able to give himself admin permissions on his laptop only to
Oh.
bypass. Yeah, it was insane. He wanted to. It was some website he wanted to go on that was like completely lame. So he
Uh-huh.
would find a way to give himself admin, and he went far. I only played Minecraft and that was it. But he took it too far. I don't know if it was good for me to be close with him. It was very good because he taught me a lot. He taught me what Vim was. He taught me like what a terminal was, and showing him like this is in middle school. You're looking at this person, let's say LS, and you're thinking he's hacking the entire system. Like that's it. You know what I mean? A list of things LS-LA, and like oh my goodness, he's out here. I'm the problem is like you try to copy him. And,
Mm-hmm.
and, and you're trying to click in the terminal, nothing's like being clicked on. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's like just doing hotkeys and like, oh my, this is incredible. So a lot of that like competition in me wanted to be like, oh, I want to be like him. I want to be better, and that kind of helped me. But other
Mm-hmm.
than those type of things, again, like I played soccer, but
Mm-hmm.
outside of school, there was Quran class and Arabic class that my parents and a lot of people in the community, like Ayub, I don't know if you know Ayub and
Yeah.
Yassine and
Mm-hmm.
Ziyad al-Gohari, Khalid al-Husseini, all these people were all, and Muhammad Abdullah as well. They're all part of. I'm missing a couple of people. I don't want to keep naming them, but we'd be here all day. But Omar and
Yeah.
Yusuf, there we go. The last two.
Interesting.
So we'd be all very, very close together.
I see. So then, like, all of this is happening, and you're sort of like in middle school, right? Like, what were you thinking about? Like, then you go do all of this FTC thing, then you do the FLL and all of those. What
Mhm.
role did this mentor and teacher sort of play, like even guiding all of this journey, right? You mentioned.
Yeah. The main thing is that and for the parents listening and for the
Mm,
parents who want to see their kids successful is that
mm,
these programs are a lot of them are mentored by really good people,
mm,
people who care, people who want to see kids grow and get interested into the tech.
mm,
The I'm a very very big believer in the fact that
mhm,
um, to be a good software engineer doesn't mean you
mhm,
have to be a good coder, right? Being a
mm,
good coder doesn't mean you're a good software engineer. I feel like your role as a software engineer is an engineer. It's to solve problems. It's to think of tasks differently, right? What you see versus what I see is completely
mhm,
different. We have two different
mhm,
perspectives. You lived a different life. You've seen
mhm,
different problems, and so did I.
mhm.
Code is just a language, and we communicate our solutions, right? And that's
Interesting.
something I learned in robotics is that
Mhm,
when the YouTube video plays or when you read the document and
mhm,
you see here's this year's competition and you're gonna need
mhm.
to lift up a ball and put it into a
Mhm.
basket.
Yes.
Me, I'm thinking in a basketball term, like we're gonna just pick up the ball, shoot it, easy
Mhm,
switch, right?
mhm,
Another person be like, oh no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it, we're gonna place it, but we're gonna have like a let's say like a Ferris wheel where we can put more
mhm,
than one at a time and we just stand there and someone feeds us. And
mhm,
so there's different ways people think because of the different games that they play, the different perspectives in life that they played.
mhm,
And that was very, very learned or that was emphasized in these robotics programs. These robotics programs are all about creativity. It's all about
mhm,
innovation. You
mhm,
lose innovation and you lose your thinking, in my opinion. So that's
mhm,
something that's really important. So as a parent, my parents,
mhm,
they they saw how much it cared or like it mattered, like how much I cared about it and how much it mattered to
mhm,
me. And
mhm,
meetings would end at 9 p.m. And trust
mhm.
me, right now it's as soon as the clock hits 5:30, 6 p.m. I'm closing my laptop. I'm going home. Like so imagine if after you do that, you go home like, oh, my son is all the way back in high school, and then you go pick him
Mhm.
up and like alhamdulillah, like may Allah like bless him and
I mean,
inshallah Jannah. But being patient with the kid
Mm-hmm.
and really showing that you
Mm-hmm.
care and that
Mm-hmm.
creativity and innovation really matters. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're a kid listening to this, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to be in robotics to be successful. That's not true at
Mm-hmm.
all, right? Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has their own different path, but
Mm-hmm.
finding something that is able to expand your creativity and your imagination, whether it's watching content that is
Mm-hmm.
extremely like cool, like how does a car work or how does this work, or playing a game like Minecraft that's able to you're building what you're thinking and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these things. I don't know what other, I mean, you might, do you have any other examples? I'm not sure. I might be
No,
missing a couple.
no, this is perfect. This is super amazing. But then I think like even from the things you said now, I wanted to dissect it a little, right? You're
Yeah.
this middle school kid and you're doing this stuff till like 9 p.m. What did it mean for that thing to be cool for you? Why did you keep just sticking to this thing at that age where you could be doing something else?
Because there's results and free food. I take like hand in hand, but it was results. I mean, you're sitting down and you're watching something that you built come to life, right?
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people need to understand that like there's two things in life. One
Mm-hmm.
or two things in robotics, sorry, is you got to let the kid learn,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like terrible solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like overcomplicated the solution.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to let the kid learn. You got to
Mm-hmm.
let them fail. But at the same time, if you see them failing and struggling, that's when you step in and you kind of guide them in a way. And the way that they did it was so flawlessly that every day that I worked, it really did seem that I was building something new that worked. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of failures, but all of the times, like, oh, this is a really cool idea. Like, oh, yeah, it is a cool idea. What about this? Like, oh, that's a great idea. And it was
Mm-hmm.
seeing those results that, like, okay, I created a hand that goes like this. Then you go
Mm-hmm.
home, you think about, like, oh, what if I added this to it? What if I added a spring that makes it close quicker and so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth? And I'd say that again, my family or my parents, they did a good job of like minimizing distractions. It
Mm-hmm.
was very emphasized that
Mm-hmm.
education came first.
Mm-hmm.
Education, Dean, and soccer, like
Mm-hmm.
physical, some sort of physical activity
Mm-hmm.
came first. We were banned to play on the Xbox. This is how they got us. This because I till this day I don't even like playing Xbox that much because of how it's been engraved in my head. But the way that they got me was that like okay, Xbox only on the weekends, and then like okay, and actually never mind. Xbox only on the long weekends and breaks, and then the long weekend comes, and like okay, no, okay, Xbox only on breaks.
Uh-huh.
And what happens is when the break comes and you open
Mm-hmm.
the Xbox, there's a software update. So you
Mm-hmm.
sit there for a day gone because you have to update the Xbox. The next day you
Uh-huh.
come on, you have to update the game. The third day you hop on with your friends. They're all really good at the game, and you're
Mm-hmm.
trash. They're like, you know what? I don't like this game. I don't like this game anymore. And you just go do something else.
Ah.
And minimizing distractions in general was really really good for me.
Interesting. Okay, now this is all middle school. Now walk me through then what happens from then moving into like high school.
So high school then, um, actually there was one thing that was really
Mm-hmm.
important to me in middle school that I forgot. There
Mm-hmm.
was a class that we had was called advisory,
Mm-hmm.
and in eighth grade you take an exam, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like you take an exam to figure out what you want,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be good at
Mm-hmm.
in life. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I took the exam and they said I'd be a good veterinarian. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of dogs. I'm afraid of animals. I'm afraid of cats. I'm afraid of dogs. So I was shocked. You know, I realized like this is complete BS. But then I sat there. We had to give a presentation on why what is this career. You have to give examples of this career,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed, like a
Mm-hmm.
veterinarian, that I lied. I said no. They told me I wanted to be a computer scientist, so then I had to do extra research. And it was in eighth grade. I mean, I still have the presentation somewhere. It's like they like, okay, what's your dream school? What's your career?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I set my goal. Like this is my goal right here. This is like, let's say UW or Caltech.
Mm-hmm.
That was my goal, right? Like I need to get in there, and I need to do everything in my ability starting
Mm-hmm.
from now to there. So
Mm-hmm.
then that mentality carried on into high school, where it's every grade matters, every
Mm-hmm.
single assignment mattered, every single
Mm-hmm.
thing. I'm not saying that if I did bad, that's going to have a huge effect, but I have to work hard to make up
Mm-hmm.
for it. So that mentality came forward, and I think setting goals, having the child set goals is more important than having you set it for them. Like, of course, as a parent, you have your Ivy League dreams, right? You're like, oh, my kid's gonna do this, but it's different when the kid wants it. It's different when the child is the one who's pushing for it. It's like, this is what I want because this is what I want to accomplish. Um, so that's something that I wanted to emphasize. I forgot, but I remember now. But yeah, so going into high school, I had a goal. I was like, I had the plan. I mean, this is peak running start. This is when everybody. I mean, one of my closest friends, Ahmed al-Basuni, he was doing running start. This is like everybody in the community is like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go running start. We're going to heat up, graduate in 2 years. We're gonna grind, and we're gonna become billionaires. Just like that overnight. And inshallah, become billionaires. But it's not just like that. That's what I learned. So then in that case, I take the classes, I do the studying, and then after school, I join robotics again because a lot of my friends in the previous school are in this new school who are also doing robotics. So I do robotics, I do soccer. I tried DECA and I tried FBLA. These are two clubs in high school, and they weren't for me. I know two people. I know like Nur Ayed. He was an FBLA champion. He's an incredible one, first place, and he loved it, right? But it just wasn't for me. And that's something that is important to know. Just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it works for you. But you just find something that you're passionate about. So so I do robotics. It was up until I think sophomore year of high school when I worked on my first project outside of school.
Interesting. I mean, then I wanted to even go back still. I think there was something we talked about in like your middle school when you found out this career thing and all of that. And it seems to me the way you were describing yourself then was some sort of like an adult even. It's like you had goals, you wanted to achieve this and that. And I think a lot of parents maybe sometimes think like their kids sort of even don't have goals and like stuff. How were you a kid in middle school who was sort of like that, like goal oriented?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize it at the time. It's up until I look back at it when I realized they got me. You know what I mean? Like the education system had worked on me somehow. I don't know how. I thought I was a huge hater, but now I look back and I'm like, wow. And I went to the Bellevue Big Picture School for middle school. Okay, and one of the things that they had is it's more of a presentation oriented school. I used to be really shy. I didn't like presenting. I didn't like talking. I hated it. But then they're like, okay, no, it's a project oriented. You're going to build this model of the solar system. You're going to explain, and it has to be to scale. People have to walk from one end of Marymore to the other end of Marymore for this solar system project. That's how important it was. The thing is that they talked about SMART goals. I don't know if you've heard of the SMART system, but they would talk about like it has to be measurable. It has to be this. It has to be that. And I'd be lying to you if I remember what SMART stood for, but I only remember measurable. That's all, in time, maybe. But then they made sure all of our goals would follow the SMART system, right? And in your head, you're like, this is a waste of time. Like this is ridiculous. I'm just trying to go play Foursquare or soccer Foursquare. But again, the way that they taught me is bit by bit. It's not like you have to. One of the things, I mean, I love my dad. Wallahi, I do. One of the things that I is a peeve of mine is when he thinks that he's running a company in the home, right? Like, no, we gotta have guidelines. We're gonna have yearly APEC or yearly like peer reviews and performance reviews. We're talking about. It's difficult to have a kid to follow that thing. But if you slowly, one by one, you're like, what do you want to do? What schools do you want? And they're gonna be like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. What about let's watch this movie Oppenheimer, and they're gonna see the background, like, oh, this really nice. What I think it was like whatever super school, like whatever school it is, and they watch it, and they're like, oh wow, that's a really nice school. One of the things that I used to love on YouTube was watching room tours. Like, how do you set up a setup, like a whole room setup and home setup? And one of my favorite YouTubers happened to be a student at Caltech, and like, here's how I set up my dorm. So you're sitting there and you're like, oh my goodness, I have this dream where I want to be at that school, setting up my room.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I want to be at Caltech to set up my entire room, but it sure it could be the wrong reasons. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm at Caltech.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's the same idea. It's like you show them why it's worth it. You show them
Mm-hmm.
like the beauty of it, and then they work hard to then fill in that gap.
Interesting. I mean, then, like, how does this translate for you, right? Like, let's just put the picture forward. You've become a parent. How do you think you'll practically bring this to life for like your own kids? I know this is not part of our team conversation, but how do you plan to project this into your own family, basically?
It's so hard. It's incredibly difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you even right now, I think I know everything. Like, oh, my parents don't know anything. I know. I got GPT. I got Claude. I mean, like, I'm the top of the world. You know, there's nobody can take me down.
Mhm,
But what I'll tell you, I can't answer that question because I have to live through. But I can tell you things that I really appreciated,
mhm,
and the
mhm,
things I
mhm,
appreciated is when my parents showed interest in what I did. You know
mhm,
that was something that was really interesting. When they
mhm,
supported me in decisions, even though that they knew wouldn't be the best.
mhm,
Like for example, like I really wanted to get a brand new, I don't know, Arduino.
mhm,
And like you're not gonna use it in the next 2 months or
mhm,
that like the next 20 years. I haven't touched it since.
mhm,
But he wants it now. So why
mhm,
not? Right? Let's see how we can make it possible so that he can get that thing.
mhm,
I'd say that a lot of it was also, I loved trying to solve problems. So they'd give me problems to solve.
mhm,
Like, hey, this thing in the home, this let's say like this shelf is crooked.
mhm,
How do we
mhm,
fix it? Or
mhm,
these paintings in the back, they're slanted. How do we fix that? And you
mhm,
just sit there and you're watching them use tools, and that's how you learn.
mhm,
I don't feel like I was ever hushed away.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
let's say my dad's working on something in the car,
mhm,
and my
mhm.
face is like right in his ear. Like, what are we doing? You know, he's never like go away. He's like, here,
Mhm,
hold this flashlight and don't move and
mhm,
don't talk, but hold this flashlight. So you're
mhm,
watching him
mhm,
pull fuses that he shouldn't be touching, or he pull things
mhm,
that he shouldn't be thinking. But you're like, oh yeah, I'm learning.
mhm.
Um, what else did I like? Of course, I mean, I was grades was something that was a huge deal in our family, right? It's like
Mhm,
get good grades, get good grades,
mhm,
get good grades,
mhm, mhm,
and forget about high school, like let's say football games and stuff.
mhm, mhm,
And I've seen people who went to these games and they turned out perfectly fine, and I've seen people like me who didn't go to these games, and I realized that like it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like
mhm,
I used to get like this fear of missing out.
mhm,
And
mhm.
once I got over that, I realized that it's not that big of a deal. I, 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 I mean, that's what I can think of. I don't know
Interesting.
anything specifically.
Wow. Oh, this is super cool. This is super. Actually, I love just the way you've been talking about all of these things. Now I think we've submerged ourselves a lot into like your middle school life now, more like high school and like, so talk to me, for people that probably don't know about like Running Start, talk to us about the Running Start. Talk to us about your experience there and sort of like that lead way into like college and like all of that.
So with Running Start, people ask me if like, do I recommend it to people? And I say yes. Immediately, I say yes. And I've seen many successful people who did not do Running Start, who
Mm-hmm.
are just in the same position as I am.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even better, sometimes worse, but they're on average, it's the same. Muhammad Awadallah, he's one of the people that didn't do Running Start. And we
Mm-hmm.
went to university together. We like everything was basically the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the emphasis on why I liked Running Start was you're able to take classes that you usually wouldn't be able to take. For example,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to take linear algebra. I was able to take differentials equations, calculus
Mm-hmm.
4, these classes that I was really interested in that I was not offered in high school.
I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another thing was that kind of getting that style of life where it's not a 9 to 3 or 8 to 3
Mm-hmm.
high school experience, and now it's becoming you take 2 classes a day, and now
Mm-hmm.
you have to figure out what you're going to do in between classes. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I got was a more social life. What I
Mm-hmm.
got is I was able to talk to more people.
Mm-hmm.
The In high school everything is class oriented and you're able to talk to people within class, but you're not
Mm-hmm.
able to discuss, you're not able to have full-on conversations, right? Before school, you're
mhm,
too tired. After school, everyone has to go home. So you
mhm,
really get lunch.
mhm,
In running start, I did running start with a couple of my friends. It was Anas Azimi, Yunus Al-Khrechi, Khalid Al-Husseini, Ziad Al-Gohari, Yassine Al-Yaqoubi, and I might be missing someone else, but we got really close in running start
mhm,
because we were all there at hours on end. I mean, like
mhm,
you're talking about. I mean, think if you're a parent, think about your college days. Like
mhm,
you're sitting
mhm,
there, you're studying, you're talking,
mhm,
you're laughing, you're eating,
mhm,
and you're able to share information
mhm,
way more efficiently than in high school. So for
mhm,
me, that was worth it. For me,
mhm,
and at
mhm,
the time, Yassine, I don't know if you know Yassine Al-Yaqoubi, but his dad,
mhm,
Amul Yes,
mhm,
he had started this project with a bunch of us on
mhm,
how to develop an app. And I believe Ziad Al-Gohari, he's
mhm,
discussed this a couple of times in some of his
mhm.
talks. But
Yes. Yeah.
Amul Yes really, like, alhamdulillah for him as well. Like
Mhm,
he was able to find a group of kids and
mhm,
put them together and basically create
mhm,
a team.
mhm,
And because we were working on that and also
mhm,
doing running start, we had
mhm,
time to talk. We had time to discuss ideas. We had times to look at different things. Yassine and
mhm,
Khalid really got into photography, right?
mhm,
You're able to find interests that you
mhm,
usually wouldn't be able to find in because you don't have time. So
mhm,
that's why I liked running start.
mhm,
If you're worried that your kid, or if you're worried that you don't have the focus and you need that schedule, then yeah, push yourself, take the AP classes, take the IB classes, but
mhm,
don't settle. And if you're entering high school,
mhm,
every grade counts. Don't think just because you're a freshman, you're just getting started, that life is going to be, no. It starts as soon as first day of school. That's when it starts, right?
mhm,
Like
mhm,
you're setting up your entire life.
mhm,
Don't be lazy now. Don't
mhm,
there's you're able you're okay, it's okay to be tired, but don't be
mhm,
lazy.
mhm,
Laziness is the big worst disease in life.
mhm,
So don't be lazy.
mhm,
And in running start, you're able to take the freedom. Like I
mhm,
want to take a biology class. Go
mhm,
ahead. I want
mhm,
to take this class. Go ahead. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're taking college level classes. In reality, I'd say that some classes are very difficult, but most of the time you're taking
mhm,
classes where people your age. Nowadays
mhm,
it becomes because it became more popular. And
mhm,
for people
mhm,
who don't know, running start, it's the same idea as dual enrollment program. So it's like your junior
mhm,
and senior year, you go to a community college and take classes.
mhm.
But yeah,
Math.
I will say though, one of the biggest caveats
Mhm,
was that in running start,
mhm,
if there's I mean, running start was one of the biggest reasons why I chose to go to University of Washington, because the other
mhm,
school I was considering didn't
mhm.
accept running start credits. So I'd
Ah.
have to retake a lot of those classes,
Mhm, mhm.
and it was very painful. I mean, imagine asking someone to take calculus 4 twice, right? Or linear algebra again, or differential equations. It's like I just got through this pain, and then you go back and do it again. So
Mhm,
I was very hesitant in that way,
mhm,
but some other people find it that's still worth it.
I see. Interesting. So then now you finish middle school, you've done high school, you've done this Running Start program, and all of that is like leading you into college. Like, how was life in UW for you based on like all of like your teenage and all of that?
It was fun. Again,
Mhm,
I was able to find a friend group. I had
mhm,
me and Muhammad Abdullah. We entered
mhm,
at the same time, so we got
mhm,
really. I mean, we went to Aladdin's every day. We got our chicken shawarma and lamb and beef shawarma every day. We
mhm,
gained whatever 50,000 pounds that we gained that year. We were very close, and I'd say
mhm,
words of advice: you pick your friends correctly,
mhm,
go to office hours,
mhm,
and just do what you enjoy.
mhm,
Be focused and goal oriented.
mhm,
So once I entered UW, like I said, because I did running start and Muhammad didn't do running start, we were close together, but we took
mhm,
separate different classes,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So it wasn't exactly like I'm taking classes with him, which meant that I
mhm,
need to find a new friend group.
mhm,
And one of my favorite things was going to office hours and meeting new people. And I met this incredible group, very diverse group of friends,
mhm,
Sikh, Christian, Hindu. I mean, you're
mhm,
talking about religions and ethnicities, very diverse. And we're
mhm,
all just sitting there in office hours, each of us looking more clueless than the other. I mean, you imagine a couch of clueless people, and as you go down the line, it just gets more and more clueless, and that's us. That was our friend group.
mhm,
And the way that it works at University of Washington is that there'd be a whiteboard. You go
mhm.
put your name. There's a queue. You write your
Yeah.
name,
Mhm,
and then you sit down and you wait patiently.
mhm,
And what you do is, if you had more than one question, You'd write
Mm-hmm.
your name, you'd wait, then you write your name again, then you'd wait, then you write
Ah.
your name again, so that the
Huh.
TA would come to you over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
so that you
Mm-hmm.
were able to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where it would be me, my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend, me, my friend, my friend, my friend, me, my friend. And the thing is, the TA is just sitting one by one, listening and listening and listening. And then she realized that, like, you guys are all one big group. And she
Mm-hmm.
realized, because we started gaming the system, is the homework is 10 questions. There's
Mm-hmm.
seven of us. I'll ask about question one. You'll ask about question two, three, four. We're all listening. So then by the time we get back to me, like, all right, question eight, right? It's like, so the TA found out, and and all the TAs, they'd find out quickly, and they'd group us in one group, sit with us for a couple minutes, and then they'd leave and go to a different student. And that's how we got really, really close. And that, I mean, I was just hanging out with this group. I mean, I graduated 2023, so I was just hanging out with this group, not even this weekend, getting dinner and just laughing about good old days. But that's the emphasis on getting good friends. And where do you get the good friends? You get good friends where you want to be in, right? So like, I want academic friends, so I'm going to be at office hours, because that's where other academic people are going to be, right? So then that's exactly where I found my friends, and that's the same advice I gave my sister. It's like, when you're in a computer lab, it's so hard to talk to people. But when you're in office hours, it's so easy, because you're all clueless. You all need help, right? And whatever information you have will benefit me, and whatever information I have will benefit you, right? And a lot of people have this competitive mindset. That's fine. It's okay to be competitive, but at the end of the day, in order to receive information, you got to give information. If you want to get help, you have to help. It's very impossible. It's very hard. I won't say impossible. Very hard to keep receiving help and not giving help, because what's going to end up happening? Nobody's going to help you anymore, right? It's like, why would I help them when, like, I have studying I need to do? So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Wow. So one thing I wanted to raise here and talk about is sort of like even for parents when they let their kids like go to school or like college. And one of the fears is always like when they get into like a diverse group, that either the child loses like the identity of who they are, especially, or like if they go into like just this type of groups. Like I've known you and sort of like your identity as a Muslim sort of like has shined through like at least all of the times I've known you. How has that been able to stay, even though you've got into like this environment of like meeting this type of people s- and stuff like that?
That's a good question. And that's something we really didn't talk about at all in this
Mhm,
podcast, is the
mhm,
deen aspect, the religion
mhm,
aspect, right?
mhm,
And it's interesting
mhm,
because it's equally as hard and as easy. Okay.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
basically, imagine you're on a plank. One step to the right, or one step to the left, one step back, one step forward. It's all equally equidistant. But one
mhm.
step can take you a very, very different route, right? It's
Yeah.
very difficult.
Mhm,
So then everybody gives you the same answers, as you have to have the right friends, right?
mhm,
That's the main priority.
mhm,
So let's assume that there's a couple cases. Let's assume
mhm,
that you're a good Muslim, you go
mhm,
into college and
mhm,
you stay a good Muslim. That's the
mhm,
values that you have.
mhm,
And as a parent, you did a good job. As a
mhm,
parent, you're like, okay, alhamdulillah.
mhm,
That good
mhm,
Muslim is going to find other good Muslims, and let's say that friend group are very good people, and they continue being a good Muslim, right?
mhm,
Let's say there's a case where you're a good Muslim, they meet someone iffy, and then
mhm,
they go and deviate in this path. It's very
mhm,
possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, very
mhm,
possible.
mhm,
But then it's the small things that could matter. For example,
mhm,
just checking up, did you pray,
mhm,
right? Did
mhm,
you do this?
mhm,
Um, them going to MSA.
mhm,
MSA would meet once a week. Now they meet once, whatever. It's the small
mhm,
things. Like, okay, it's a reminder. That's the same idea why we have Friday prayers, right?
mhm,
The whole
mhm,
point of
mhm,
Jum'ah is that you go in, you get a reminder. It's a
mhm,
boost of iman, and
mhm,
it's the same idea. It's like you need that boost to keep going.
mhm,
So that's how it starts. If it's strong before, then
mhm,
in college, it's very easy to stay strong,
mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm,
I've seen people who came into college who weren't religious,
mhm,
who it was more cultural than
mhm,
thing, but
mhm,
they saw the group, they saw people, they saw like, and like, yeah, I want to be like that. I want
mhm,
to be like that.
mhm,
And it's through friends. It's
mhm,
through who they talk to, which is why I'm
mhm,
saying,
mhm,
like, going to places that you want to be, like the levels that
mhm,
you want to be, and finding friends there is
mhm,
important. Like, I'm not gonna find a good Muslim on Greek Row. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't find like a good friend at a party, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like it doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
any sense, you know. It just doesn't make. Or I don't want to find. I don't know what's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
I won't find a swimmer just
Mm-hmm.
running around on the field. I'd go to the swimming pool and find a swimmer there because that's
Mm-hmm.
where they'd be.
I see.
So that's something I emphasize. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to find a good friend in high
Mm-hmm.
school
Mm-hmm.
and then go to the same college, then alhamdulillah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a blessing. If you go to college, then it's hard. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like you make dua and you make. There's not much that you can do,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, as a parent that can make
Mm-hmm.
a significant difference other than talking and checking up on them.
I see. But based on all of this like experience that you've like gathered and all of that, what do you see like most teenagers these days sort of don't get? I think like now you're getting like the parent view of a lot of things now, right? You're more out of that age, right? If you're
Yeah,
talking to a teenager now, not even to a parent, right? And you were to go back to like your middle high school and stuff, how would you advise like you're invited to like your school and like how would you advise a teenager now that is just starting out?
yeah. I'd say that people are going to be doing things
Hmm.
all around you.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying that the person next to you might be the number one tennis player,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And they get a scholarship for tennis
Hmm.
and they become really successful. And that's how they get into Harvard. Okay.
Hmm.
The other person next to you, their dad might have donated to the library. And that's
Hmm.
how they got into whatever school.
Hmm.
And everybody in the classroom around you will have a
Hmm.
different story, will have a
Hmm.
different success story.
Hmm.
Every single person around you is going to have a journey.
Hmm.
So don't focus on their journey. Take what's good from them and
Hmm.
incorporate it into your life,
Hmm.
but don't think that you have to live their life to be successful.
Hmm.
A lot of people get stuck up on the whole I have to be a college dropout to really become a really successful entrepreneur because
Hmm.
that's what Steve Jobs did. That's what Bill
Hmm.
Gates did. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not the point of the story. What they did was they found a really good idea, invested their time, and
Hmm.
realized that that's more important. That's what you should be taking out of it. It's not that they dropped out. That's the worst thing that you could have taken out of it. That like
Hmm.
they don't like school. No, they like school. That's why they went to the school, right? That's the way
Hmm.
that they were taking classes, and then
Hmm.
they found something that is more valuable, and they
Hmm.
went and pursued that.
Hmm.
So just make sure that you take what's good from people.
Hmm.
Let's say your friend who's really good at tennis and you want to play tennis, then play tennis with him and incorporate that. But don't
Hmm.
live his life. Don't live
Hmm.
her life.
Hmm.
It's your life. You have your own interests
Hmm.
and just take what's good from everybody around you to build an
Hmm.
even better person.
Wow. This is super cool and super interesting. I think like I move this then basically into our next part of our conversation, which is like around AI. AI is
Yeah.
making like a lot of shifts and drift in like almost everywhere. How did you
Hmm.
sort of experience AI like throughout your own life? Like when did you even begin to experience it? And like how does that even affect what you're doing now? And what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about like AI for the future?
The first time I touched machine learning and AI was in high school. So I did
Hmm.
computational biology at the Fred Hutch. And that's when
Hmm.
I learned neural networks and machine learning. And at the time, I didn't understand the power.
Hmm.
At the time, it was just like, it's a cool thing to work at. This is 2020. This is during COVID. So this is
Hmm.
before GPT was mainstream.
Hmm.
And it was analyzing the SARS-CoV-2, which is the COVID-19
Hmm.
uh, virus,
Yes.
and analyzing that in a machine learning background.
Hmm.
That's where I learned Python. That I
Hmm.
learned Python and machine learning in the same 4 months. So it was really like neural networks and Python was in the same four
Hmm.
months. And that
Hmm.
opportunity definitely opened up doors in the future. And
Hmm.
the word opportunity is big, and I'd want to talk about that later about
Hmm.
opportunities. But to
Hmm.
answer your question about AI,
Hmm.
after that opportunity, I worked. Yeah, GPT kind of released my last year of college.
Hmm.
And that year, I was working with a close friend of mine. I
Mm-hmm.
like to say I'm his best friend, but I don't think he agrees. But Anas Aoudallah. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you know Muhammad. Muhammad's older brother Anas. He does research at Stanford. I believe he's a PhD student at Stanford in
Mm-hmm.
LLM and machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
And he was I did research with him in his lab that he was a part of, and that was another really really good project, a really good opportunity for me. Again, the word opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And when GPT came out, it was taboo. If you use GPT,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to use it in secret. You know what I mean? It's like under the table, like like, oh yeah, I got GPT, and then you kind of hide it under the desk, you put it back,
Uh-huh.
and that's how GPT worked.
Hmm.
And I really love how that changed, where it's
Hmm.
like, okay, everybody uses GPT. It's like who
Mhm.
can use it the best now. It's like a
Mhm.
competition. It's like
Mhm.
I could
Mhm.
do it best. I can look what I can make. Look at this photo I can generate. I can do it better than you because I
Mhm.
think that's how it should be used.
Mhm. Mhm.
It shouldn't
Mhm.
be hidden. I don't believe. Again, it's like the same idea with coding. It's
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
if you're using AI to code, again, code is just a way to translate what you have into
Mhm.
what machines can understand. The
Mhm.
real like mastermind is your brain. So
Mhm.
focus
Mhm.
on growing that. And the way, if you can produce code faster, if you get things done faster, do it.
Mhm.
Right? Like, why hold back?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
a lot of the kids are listening to me like, oh yeah, let me just use GPT for everything. No, that's not what I'm saying. There's important. If you don't know how to write, learn how
Mhm.
to write because
Mhm.
that will help you use GPT better in the future and
Mhm.
other models.
Mhm.
But right now, I mean, I tell my sister, I tell my siblings, and I even tell my dad, I'm like, you
Mhm.
have to use these products
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
if you don't use it, it's like
Mhm.
an old school guy who goes to the encyclopedia
Mhm.
or a dictionary, opens up every
Mhm.
single time someone says something that they don't know, they open up a dictionary. Like, all right, is that with an A or the S? Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and just search that up. It's like a waste of time. You could do it quicker. You search it up on Siri, you search it up on Safari, and you move on with your life.
Mhm.
It's the same idea with the GPT. Like I ask it questions that I don't even know if it's telling me is true. I like, hey, there's a squeak in my car. What does it say? It's like, oh, your engine's about to blow up. Like, all right, cool. Turn off the car. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'd rather be on the safe side and just get information out quicker until I do my actual own research.
Mhm.
That's my experience with AI. So it went from research where machine learning and then it became LLMs, like other
Mhm.
research. And then it's like, okay, now I'm a consumer of these tools. And one of the biggest tools that I use is Replit. Replit is Figma to front end design or Figma to code design. And
Mhm.
I really love designing. I really love having these ideas come to mind. And
Mhm.
using Replit, it just makes it so
Mhm.
much easier where I'm able to envision whatever website or whatever
Mhm.
project I want. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes if I want an animation, I tell Replit I need this animated
Mhm.
website and it does it for me. Like, all right, great.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's one of the things that I pay for. I don't pay for GPT or Claude. I
Mhm.
used to, but I
Mhm.
don't do it anymore because I then switched all my money that
Mhm.
I had originally used to Replit
Mhm.
because it's
Mhm.
starting to get a bit expensive.
Mhm. 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 Wow. So this is then like your story up till now. Most people talk about like the future, what AI is gonna be and all of
Yeah.
that. What are your thoughts generally about like what the future of where the future of this whole thing is basically going?
I took a class that was probably the hardest class of my life, and it was my favorite class. And I there's a huge connection with classes being hard and the
Mhm.
worst, and it being the best.
Mhm.
Or the classes that I do the worst on was my favorite.
Mhm.
And this class was quantum computing. This is a
Mhm.
class that I took with, this is my last class I took at UW. And I told all my friends were signing up for this class. And I thought it was quantitative analysis. I thought it was like trading, like
Mhm. Mhm.
analyzing the market. And it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was quantum computing. And it was a big
Mhm.
mistake. I feel like we should have caught that. We should have caught that earlier. According to them, they knew. I don't believe them. Because if they knew, they would have signed up for the class with me. But I didn't believe them. But they say they knew. And that class really taught me that like the future of quantum
Mhm.
computing is something that's huge. So let's say
Mhm.
you're in elementary school, you're in middle school, you're thinking about what's the future, then you're like, oh, what about this quantum computing realm?
Mhm.
That's like our next big thing, I believe,
Mhm.
after AI and ML. There's
Mhm.
people right now who are doing their masters in AI and masters in ML, and I think that is really good, right? Because I think
Mhm.
that you're able to then become informative of what's going on. If
Mhm.
you're about to enter college,
Mhm.
you're probably like, okay, I wanted to do CS. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at the job market. I'm looking at these tools. A lot of these things are less forgiving. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
about to enter college, I'm gonna be honest, you will be fine because by the time you graduate, the bubble would have popped or the bubble would
Mm-hmm.
have grown, and you'll be probably fine. So just be patient and wait it out.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's like that in between group of people. We're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
are we hiring people? Are we not hiring people?
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is taking up all this information, telling me that AI is taking over and all these things. And I'd say the one thing that a lot of people care about is security, data
Mm-hmm.
security, security in like my laptop, making sure all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'd probably look into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because with all this data, is like, how do I make sure whatever I'm feeding into AI isn't
Mm-hmm.
leaving AI? What am I
Mm-hmm.
doing? So I'd definitely look in that aspect if you're
Mm-hmm.
really, really worried.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, okay, what about like people losing their jobs and losing all
Mm-hmm.
these things? And I
Yeah.
say that's the reality of it. Like, unfortunately, if I could time travel, then
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be a billionaire on a, or a trillionaire on a yacht. Yeah, I wouldn't be answering these questions.
Uh-huh.
And Allahu alam, right?
Mm.
Like you see the trends like, oh no, people are hiring, people are not like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert on the field. All I know is that I do my job
Mm.
and I use AI in my job, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel bad about it at all. I have no regrets,
Mm-hmm.
and it's how I'm able to do good work quickly.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's super interesting. I love your take on AI, but I come back to that. Before I go on next, you were repeating the word opportunity, and you said you wanted to come
Yes,
back to that. What did you mean by
yes,
that? What did you want to talk about?
yes. There's this one thing, and there's a story about the prophet. I believe it was like
So,
I'm blanking on it
mm,
about is like something about Jannah. And someone
mhm.
raises his hand and is like, "Can I be one of the
Yes.
people?" I
Hmm.
don't know if you know
Yes.
the story. You can go ahead and tell it because I don't
Yeah.
remember it
I don't
too
remember the
fluently.
full context of the story, but the professor, I think it was about
So
70,000 people will go into Jannah, something like that, I think. And he raises his hand, the Sahaba, and he says, Professor, can I be among them? And he's like, yes, you're gonna be among them. And then some people else raise their hand, I think. And then he says, oh, this person already like asked first and something like that. I don't know if that's the story you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's like the context, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
someone raises their hand, he
Yeah.
gets it. The person right after him raises his hand. He's like, "That spot is taken."
Yes.
Right? And that's like you have to seize the opportunity.
Hmm.
There's if the opportunity is in front of you, don't be lazy. You have to seize the opportunity and you have to take full advantage of the opportunity.
Hmm.
Up and from high school till now,
Hmm.
every position, alhamdulillah, that I got into was from an
Hmm.
opportunity that I got, an opportunity I was able to seize, and the
Hmm.
connections that I made was built up and put me into a new place. When I'm
Hmm.
saying that, Yassine's dad created this project. Great. I was with Yassine and because I loved it, we were able to build this thing.
Hmm.
Because I really was interested in the biology, I found this program with Fred Hutch, and because I
Hmm.
really loved it, I was able to know the people there who invited me again and again. And because I had that opportunity, and because I knew someone, I was able to get research again. So it's like
Hmm.
every step is that you have to take advantage of it. You can't let something go to waste. If you see $100 on the floor, are you gonna let it sit there? Or
Hmm.
if it's free money, you have to grab it. So why
Hmm.
is it when it comes to opportunities, I'll say I'll do it tomorrow. I've
Hmm.
seen it happen. I've seen like even applying to internships a couple days later,
Hmm.
you can lose that opportunity. You're not
Hmm.
gonna lose anything in those 4 days if a task takes 15 minutes. My dad always tells me if a task takes less than 15 minutes, do it now. Do
Hmm.
it. There's no. Why would you push it? Right?
Hmm.
Why get lazy? Why build up your to-do list when there's no reason to build up that to-do list? So every opportunity has to be seized at that moment. And don't is that's one advice that I would have told like my past self is like
Mhm, mhm.
if someone's like, "Hey, yeah, I would love to have lunch with you." Have lunch. You know what I mean? Like why wait and make it awkward then when you message them 4 weeks later? It's like, "Hey, remember that coffee chat you wanted me to?" You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like it's don't put yourself in those awkward positions when you can make it better now. That's what I want to talk about opportunity. Yeah.
This is super amazing. I think I've loved this. I think even our conversation coming here, I think came up, I think, from the opportunity of me meeting you, talking about it, and basically that is what is leading us here today. But then
Yeah.
I think like as we finish, like as we get towards like to the end of this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
what are you basically just like, how does, I wanted to bring back this part because you didn't talk a lot about it. How did Deen, your religion of like being Muslim, sort of play a role? Not even like I think we're talking about friends and all of that, throughout your life in general. How did that come up in every space? And how did that shape you to become like who you are in all of this?
I'd say the biggest thing, if anybody's to take anything out, is Allah's plan.
Hmm,
You know, inshallah khair is my favorite two words that I use in my life.
hmm,
Right? Something happens, my phone breaks, inshallah khair. Right? It's like I don't know what's in
hmm,
store, but it's not
hmm,
up to me. Right?
hmm,
My mom tells me the same thing. You do everything you can do,
hmm,
والباقي على ربنا, and leave God will take care of the rest.
hmm,
Right? And I hate to say this, but I mean, growing up, religion wasn't something that I went to when I was up. I
hmm,
went to religion when I was down, when I needed help, when I'm
hmm,
like, you know, Alhamdulillah was something that was said way less than Ya Rab. You know, like, Ya Allah, please. You know, Ya Allah, this one last time. Exam is tomorrow. Ya Allah, give me knowledge I don't even know I have. You know what? Ya Allah, the
Rabbi
test
zidni
comes
alone
good. I'm
back.
like, you know what? I did a good job. It's not I. It's we did a good
Mhm.
job.
Hmm,
So that was one thing that, like, as I grew, I learned is that shukr
hmm,
lillah is much more important than just at the time that you need it to
hmm,
really connect. But then again, because of religion, religion teaches you, Deen teaches you how to become a good person,
hmm,
right? My word means everything.
hmm,
You know, I have to be trustworthy. I
hmm,
have to, I have to like the work. I have to be good at the work that I'm delivering. Right?
hmm,
If I'm giving someone a document where I kind of half like didn't put in all the effort,
hmm,
it's in Islam. It's not okay. Like, you
hmm,
have to put in
hmm,
the full effort. So
hmm,
Deen really comes in the quality of life, the quality of how the people see you.
hmm,
And alhamdulillah, it's easy. I mean,
hmm,
for me, I can block off 2 hours
hmm,
every Friday for
hmm,
prayer.
hmm,
And they asked me, I mean, my teammate and my manager asked me, like, why is it 2 hours? How long is prayer? I'm like, well, prayer is like 45 minutes. It's like, okay,
hmm,
but why 2 hours? I'm like, well, it's 15-minute drive, 15-minute back. It's
hmm.
like, okay, well, there's a 30 minutes. Like, oh, that's when I drink tea and eat from a Yube's restaurant. You know what I mean? That's when I get lunch after Juma. I'm sitting down eating the biryani and drinking the tea and then coming back. And then, like, okay, but and then they're okay with it because I come back and I'm in the office until 7 p.m. I'm in the office until my job is done. They don't care if I'm taking that break because they know that as Yusuf Hanafi, I will be making it up. Another thing that's important is having halal income. You know, they sign you up to work for the work that you like should be doing. If you don't do the tasks, then I wouldn't say the money's haram, but I mean it's you. I wouldn't feel comfortable getting paid to do something that I'm not doing that I'm supposed to be doing. So then that again comes into back to Deen. It's not like I'm not giving dawah directly, right? But they know that the chicken has wine. They know that this and this. They know that this dessert has gelatin, right? And you have people on our behalf. Wallahi, we have people who aren't even Muslim messaging the caterers about halal chicken, right? So it's those small things that really add up. And without Deen, I wouldn't have met my friends from school. I wouldn't have met friends in college. I would have met friends in work. Right. So it's a good, very good place. I mean, I was part of MSA. I was very involved in the MSA at UW. And without Dean, then, like, who knows where I would have been.
This wasn't a part of our conversation. I didn't bring it up, but I guess that we're ending it all up now. But tell me a little about your MSc experience too, if you could.
It was great. I loved it. This is the year after COVID. So it's kind of in the rebuilding phase. And
Mhm,
alhamdulillah, I mean, the president at the time, her name was Safa Noor. She's
mhm,
very, very talented. She was very passionate and she was really good at her job.
mhm,
And she was able to instill that passion in everybody, in the board members and all the officers growing
mhm,
MSA. MSA is super interesting because you're not going to satisfy everybody. I'd say
mhm,
you
mhm,
give any VP or CVP at Microsoft MSA president and they might quit their job because I'd say MSA is significantly more challenging than any corporate in America ever. And that's what makes it fun,
Mm,
right? Because it's really like how do we build an inclusive space,
mhm,
inviting space. The importance is remember when you mentioned like how as a parent can I make sure my son or my daughter is in a space where Dean
mhm,
isn't forgotten, and
mm,
then it's our job as MSA to cultivate that space,
mm,
right? Which is a very very difficult thing to do. You'd be
mm,
surprised.
mm,
So one thing that I really push my friends who
mm,
are graduated
mhm,
is to donate back into the MSA.
mm,
Money goes a long way because
mm,
I'll tell you this:
mm,
we had more turnout with when we had free food in events than no
mhm,
food.
mm,
Okay,
mhm.
so then by logic, we need free food in every event, right? Because that's how it works. Food is
Mhm,
expensive. So
mhm,
in order for people to come and be active, then even
mm,
donating $50 a month,
mm,
$100 a month, but having some sort of consistent way to give back,
mhm,
that's amazing. Another thing is also like being an MSA and being behind the scenes, you get a
mm,
whole different appreciation for what's going on.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm, mhm,
Growing up, we'd see that the maps they'd have like this huge calendar for iftar
mhm,
signups, and you
mhm,
see it
mhm,
fill up immediately. And
mhm,
you'd see, mashallah, huge numbers, huge
mhm,
numbers. Like, how are people like this? Makes no sense. Why are people doing this? And
mhm,
you go through the process, you feel it, and you're like, this is really important in the
mhm,
community. And when you
mhm,
graduate, you're like, you are willing to put that money because you know
mhm,
how much it
mhm,
means. And
mhm,
alhamdulillah, 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 our group chat from our Yudab with my friends, we collect money for these iftar events
mhm,
every
mhm,
Ramadan because that's something that is important, right?
mhm, mhm,
So if it wasn't for MSA, we wouldn't have gotten that experience. We wouldn't have, and now there's a lot of smaller, so smaller groups. For example,
mhm,
there's Muslims in Allen, so that's like
mhm,
CS students who are Muslims. You have
mhm,
Muslims in Foster or something similar, Muslims in
mhm,
informatics, and so on and
mhm,
so forth. Where it's smaller groups that are much more niche that
mhm,
have, for example, we have a Muslims of Allen Discord,
mhm, mhm,
referrals, questions about
mhm,
classes, office
mhm,
hours, all in these small little groups to help each other build and
mhm,
become all better. And this is something that I hope a lot of people would spread in a lot of universities is like,
mhm,
how can we stay united? How can we have these events? And I mean, we have iftars, we have hangouts, all these things
mhm,
within
mhm,
the CS department or within the
mhm,
engineering people to
mhm,
really help people connect and to help people grow and help people become friends. And that's another important thing for a lot of parents and a lot of students.
Wow. Jazakumullah khairan, Yusuf. This conversation has been like, I think it went longer than I'm sure we even
I,
planned
I'm
for.
yeah, I'm so I didn't even realize it was this time. I'm looking at it, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry for whoever's
No,
editing
no, no.
this.
I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, but like just sort of like how much I enjoyed this conversation. Honestly, like Jazakumullah khairan, thanks for taking the time. But I guess that we're at the end of it now. But I think like if you have any words, anything you want to say before we round up, this would just be the moment.
I'd say that Dean comes first,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Don't worry if you're in a position where you think that life is done, if you're in
mm,
a or if you're burnt out, or if you think that all the doors are closing, then
mm,
it's not the case. I mean, other doors are going to open up, but you just don't know
mm,
when. Like
mm,
everything is a blessing in disguise, but once you understand that and once you
mm,
realize that,
mm,
inshallah, like your life will become easier, and inshallah, like just enjoy what you have.
mm,
You only live once. It's your
mhm,
life.
mhm,
So live it how you want to live it. Don't live it how other people are living it. That would be
mm.
it.
Wow, Jazakumullah khairan, Yusuf. Thank you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and reward you. It's been a
And
pleasure. Jazakumullah khairan.
well, yeah,
Thank you so much. Assalamu
of
alaikum
course.
wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.